check, 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 check. The new tech, tie your loose ends, hang you like I'm loose Sims. Seal it up, in secret weapon. I got the laser and the light on you, you can't move. I know shit about you, fuck with the same women. Old face killer, breakfast like venom. Your new name, Fredo, disrespecting the Lord. You ain't never been to war before, he's too delicate, too delicate. He's telling you.
This is Bosses Take Losses. If you haven't already, push the subscribe button on American New Networks on YouTube, and also subscribe to American New, our television network, which I'm the chairman of. So, you know, it's been a couple of days since the Breakfast Club, and I'm seeing how it's affected the world. And, you know, in this moment, basically what happened is what I expected to happen. And, you know, now I have to do what I have to do to protect my family office. So, you know, to me, when someone invites you on to their show that they don't own for someone else's platform, which is iHeart, I think legally, and I'm going to say allegedly for the whole interview. So allegedly. And I'm going to do the research. Hey, Nicolette.
Yeah.
Can you look at ChatGPT and ask it if a show that's not owned by the people that are on the show invite you to the show, can they discredit everything you say and cut you off all because they don't like you personally, even though iHeart is supposed to be objective? And I'd like to see what comes up, and I'll get back to you later about it. But I don't think that's legal. I looked at how many times Charlamagne cut me off. So then why?
But he's known as a terrible businessman.
And you still not
a terrible businessman and con artist.
See, when you're in it, let me just finish. Now you're interrupting me.
Now you're doing the girl.
I know him. I'm giving you an example. How they discredited every single announcement that I made. I have a book there with Simon Schuster.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I've already, you know, the title of the book, I secured the rights for TV and all that. You know what the name of the book is?
What's the name of it?
Power. And I'm going to be putting a TV show on my own television network, Revolt. That's Power with no debt. And you're calling me broke because I have no debt.
I mean, listening. You know what I'm saying?
That is you done. Let OG in. OG in with some positive, real shit. Not that silly shit you
If you ever have anything that you...
I actually showed Charlamagne and everyone else in there the episodes of My Paid, and for one full episode, he wouldn't watch it. He just continuously told me I was lying. And he was doing that in public. And the thing about the algorithm is if he says that, and other people say that, and other people say that, then that becomes other people's truth. And these are my customers. And I feel like he's been doing this for a long time. Now, again, it's not his platform. He doesn't own it. So I don't feel that he should be able to use whatever personal issues he has with me to bring me on someone else's platform and try to sabotage everything that my family office is doing and make me seem not credible. And I watched the interview a couple of days before with Ben Shapiro. And I'm meaning the interview happened a couple of days before. And I'm saying Loon so y'all know who he is, so no disrespect, Loon, because you go by a different name now. And, you know, the thing with Loon is he's from Harlem, he's from 40th Street, and we argue all the time. I'm talking about we get off the phone mad at each other, and then the next time we talk, it's nothing. We like to debate. And my issue with him sometimes is like, he's, you know, I'm talking and he cut me off, but we cut each other off. But I said, all right, I'm not going to cut you off. And he spoke for 3 straight minutes. And after 3 minutes, I was like, Loon, this isn't a conversation. I'm just listening now. But I did listen to him. And at the end, when he landed the plane, he said, yo, go watch the Ben Shapiro and look at the difference between the way they interviewed you and the way you interviewed when they interviewed Ben Shapiro. And so throughout all the things he said something very important. And I watched it and I was like, wow. I can't believe how much respect they gave that white man. A white man that triggers black people and other people, and I'll say allegedly, but they let him talk. They gave him so much space to talk. They talked with him with such respect. And then when they interviewed me, they cut me off, and you can compare side by side. Look at Ben's interview, look at the respect, look how long that he talked. They never cut him off. Look how much respect they gave him. If they did challenge him, it was not the way they challenged me. And I just don't understand why black people do that. Why they give them so much respect. Even if they talk things that really make our culture uncomfortable, they'll come in there, and they did the same thing with Leo. Even when Charlamagne had a question for Leo, he said, oh, Damon would say, it was like he didn't want to directly challenge him. He wanted to make sure that he gave him the utmost respect. And I don't get that. And you can't do that. It's not legal. And I have a lot of big announcements to make for my family office. And you can't compromise that based on your personal opinion. And you're on someone else's platform, and millions of people are listening to you. You just can't do it. And I have to protect my family office. And something else that was peculiar to me was Lauren called me at like 7, 8. I woke up to her texting me, telling me that representatives from BET and Revolt said that I didn't try to buy the company and I'm not chairman. I'm like, number one, I know that's a lie because that's not true. I asked her to FaceTime me so I could show her, but she didn't want to FaceTime me. She said she was shooting and she'll call me later. She still hasn't FaceTimed me. I could have showed her all the proof, but she didn't want it. So I was like, well, who said that? I'm the chairman now. I'll fire them. She wouldn't tell me who. So that's why I put that thing on my Instagram. Your sources, say their names, or else legally I'm going to have to challenge you. But she said, I'm doing it anyway. And I have it all on the text. I could show it. So I found that to be peculiar. I thought Jessica Hilarious was very respectful, and I have no problems with her. And I appreciate the way you conducted yourself at that, because you never disrespected me one time. But Charlamagne, there was a couple of things I found funny. When I challenged you to show me your view, I showed you my view from my family office. And this is exactly where I'm sitting right now, at my family office. And this is really the view. And then you took a picture at night. Why would you take a picture at night of your view? Are you that ashamed of your view that you don't want to show it in the daytime? You don't want people to really see it? And I thought it was a condo. It looked like a condo. I saw a lot, it didn't seem, I really thought it was a public pool. And I don't go in public pools because men and children pee in pools. And I'm not going to be swimming in a bunch of people's piss. I only swim in my pool. Or if it's a pool that I know all the people in, and I could be like, please, I don't believe in chlorine when it comes to piss. I don't want to be swimming in your piss. So I feel like you're swimming in piss. I didn't do the research, but like people were hitting me, pause, about their opinions of what you said.
Then what's the problem with them? Like there's real people that are sellouts that are really wrong the black community. Dame Dash is just unapologetic about himself, his ego. You understand me? How he wants to be perceived, right? And I get it. He goes up there and he be wilding out. But at the end of the day, I think that we make too much.
Because they disrespected Dame Dash when he was speaking facts. This man called him Dame Det. How is he broke by being in debt? Since when does debt equals just total brokenness? Since when do any of the billionaires have anything in their names, or do they put them in trust? Or do they use bankruptcy to be able to get away from the debt that they no longer want to take care of? I find it weird because there are people that will listen to Charlamagne and think, oh yeah, look at him. He is laughing. He's joking. He's a clown. He's laughing because he knows that he's speaking facts. He knows he's speaking facts.
No, this is the question though.
A few moments later.
I bet my house is bigger than yours. I bet all my houses are bigger than you. I bet I have a better.
How old are you, man?
Now it's how old are you?
This is embarrassing.
Right. Now it's how old are you? It wasn't how old are you when it was raise your hand if you think Dame is broke. That's some kindergarten shit. Yeah, so when he say, I bet my house is bigger than yours, that's grown man shit. Cause like kids ain't got no houses to be saying, I bet my house is bigger than yours. They ain't got no houses to be saying that. That's some grown man shit. I bet my house is bigger than yours. I bet all of my houses is bigger than yours. That don't sound like a broke nigga can't be talking like that. Broke niggas ain't got houses. We got apartments. Yeah, we live in apartments, broke niggas, man. We don't got houses that we could be bragging is bigger than yours. That's not broke nigga lingo. Respectfully. That's not childish lingo neither. But see, they tried to gaslight him just right there. Right there is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. That's you. They trying to gaslight him. You raising your hand. Yo, raise your hand if you think Dame is broke. You playing. You acting childish. But then when a nigga say some real nigga shit, you try to pass that off as childish. That's very childish. No. That's some real shit. I bet you my house is bigger than yours. How you calling me broke if my house is bigger than yours?
And, they did research. And I can't articulate exactly what was said, but it wasn't said. She sent me a message, so I'll play it. But it did break down that you are on that RICO, and that, in fact, if you don't or do certain things, it's going to mean that you are, in fact, a rat. And I knew that you would fold anyway, but allegedly. But this is what the paperwork, and I'm going to play it so y'all can hear it.
Anybody can go online and type in Caesar H. Pena. When they do, they'll see links from the Department of Justice.gov. They can simply open up the two links that you see here. The first one shows the New Jersey real estate investor and online influencer charged with committing multi-million-dollar investment fraud scheme, laundering drug proceeds, and bribing a New Jersey politician. If you simply scroll down, you will see the individual one. Individual one is clearly described as Pena's business partner, a well-known disc jockey and radio personality who resided in New Jersey. You go further down, as you can see through this video, it gives more description on Pena and his business partner. Individual one operated a company that conducted real estate seminars around the country with Pena. He's a co-conspirator. This individual one, who is a well-known radio personality, disc jockey in New Jersey. That only describes one person who we all know.
So this thing with Cam'ron, Daniel called me and he started to tell me how this is a bad look for Harlem. And we went back and forth, and I articulated how I felt about him trying to put Boogie on his TV show. And, well, that I wanted to give him some money. My son don't need no money, so you didn't have to do that. But at the end of the day, I told him, look, I'll talk to him, I sent him a message through Daniel. And then, he got on and started talking about my kids, Lucky. And then he started talking about Raquel. And I just can't have that. You know, so to me, I just look at the way I would approach it in the street, but I can't approach it in the street like that. So to me, a hit, if I'm gonna murder you, it's with a lawsuit. And, because of the fact that Cam would not talk to me, that's the only way I could communicate to him. And I guess Daniel spoke to him, and I'm not going to speak about the rest. Well, it's in Cam's court now, but we'll see what happens. But Daniel texted me today. No, he called me today. And like I said, we went back and forth like we do. And at the end, we listened to each other. And I said, I'll do exactly whatever you want me to do to squash this under these conditions. And then he called me and he told me Larry's wife died. And I really cared about his wife a lot. Even when Larry's, when we stopped hanging out, our families were close. So it was the woman that I had, I had a lot of respect for her. I liked her a lot. When I went to go see Boogie, we made sure we would go see her. And I really know how it is to lose a woman you love. It really hurts. And my OG, he knows how it feels. So out of respect for her, and when he called me, like I would really like you to call. I was like, Daniel, just let me show you who I am. You don't have to tell me who to be anymore. He said, all right. And I texted Larry. I told him my problems are over. And, out of respect for his wife. So, Larry, I want to let you know that I'm hurting too. Because I know how good a woman she was. I saw it. And what I hate, it just seems like all of us that are like the guys that may be doing bad things or questionable things, it's our girls that suffer. It's not us. And that's why you got to do the right thing, because you could take the pain, but your girl can't. And that's how God punishes you. God is ruthless. I look at myself like the Godfather, but I'm not God. And God kills people every day. And that's how sometimes you learn your lessons. But I just hate that Aaliyah had to go because she was perfect. And Daniel's wife was perfect. And Larry's wife was perfect. So I'm going to leave it at that with Larry. And half of the reason why I'm hurt is because I really was mad at him. And I did want to get back at him because I felt what he did. He sending that money to my son. I really didn't want my son living with another man for 5 years. My therapist told me to let him, kick him out the house and let him go be a man. And I asked you not to do it, and you did it anyway. And it has affected him. So, I got to let all that go. No get back. And that's the honorable thing to do and the right way to do things. And I just want y'all to see that regardless of what, gentlemen fight different. But if you respect someone you're having a problem with, you can't hurt the people that you love, the people that they love. There's a lot of problems I squash because of the people I love that love them. And this is one of them. So I sent him a lawsuit or a demand letter. No more demand letter. We're good. But know it's for your wife. And I really do know how much you're hurting. And I want to send my apologies. And I hope you were there every second with her. Every second. Now, as for Power, I sent them a letter. I sent them a demand letter. And it's $200 million. See, what Charlamagne doesn't know, or all of them, is I know your boss. His name is John Sykes. I've known him for years. He's the president. I don't know if he still is, but because I definitely sent him a text and he sent me an email to send. So you know, I sent them a demand letter. They seem to think, and I talked to the lawyer, and they seem to think that this is over the announcement with Revolt, and it's not. It's over the fact that for years you guys have been trying to demean, demasculate, and question my word, and for all my businesses. And what you didn't let me do was, because I saw what y'all were doing, I really wanted to launch other verticals. So the suit I'm wearing, you know, first of all, I made a movie called or TV show called The Godfather, which y'all will see. And I wear a lot of suits. And also, I'm launching my suit brand, and it's for the family office. So I wanted to talk about that. The glasses I had on were CEO glasses, but I didn't want them to be trying to make it like it was whack and this, that, and the third, and try to disrespect my family office's products. The jewelry that I was wearing is from Raquel's RMH collection. Every single thing was designed and made by her. But I couldn't launch it because I knew that Chris Brown would say it's my jewelry, and that, you know, and these are samples. This is from the RMH collection. So this is the engagement ring. This is the OSG, and this ring was made for the OSG so they could order their own rings. But this is the sample. And this is the jewelry. And this is all RMH, everything I got on besides the watch. But I couldn't launch it. I couldn't say it correctly. Now, if I could have completed a sentence, I want to pivot into this chairman situation. So, DeTavio, I know him only because of my interest in buying Revolt. And I've been trying to buy Revolt. But what I want to do is I'm going to take a quick break because that shit kind of fucked me up with Larry's wife. And I want to make sure my thoughts are right.